already behind schedule. It's 7:20. We should have started 20 minutes ago. So we're going to stick to time. Please do not take it as a disrespect. We're going to follow Robert's rules to the T, which means 1 minute. And if you have a presentation, unless you're a presenter, right, it's 3 minutes. So with the agencies, 3 minutes and so forth. So please note, once we tell it that's time, please be respectful of that. Okay? So I want to thank each of you for coming out tonight. We want to thank all of as of this month, last month, there have been new board members assigned. We have not gotten the official list yet. The list will be coming out sometime by the end of this month or the beginning of May, correct? In about a week. Yeah, so we'll know who all the board members are. And I believe that we have a full complement of board members for our list. We've been working very diligently with different agencies, and a couple of them are here tonight in terms of WMBEs. So I'm saying to everybody out here that if you have a company or if you know somebody with a company, especially one that's within the district, Dan, stand up for a second so everybody see you. Put you on the spot. Either see Dan or see the board. So we don't want any misconception about you not having your business being part of the MWBEs and monies. I'm hearing contracts like $5 million, $10 million, and we're not getting it. Okay, so let's focus on that. Welcome back to all of our members who celebrate Easter and Ramadan, and also Passover is coming up. So looking, to celebrate with our individuals who celebrate Passovers. Please note, parents, school will be out. Friday is the last day of school. Students will be out for the next week. So make necessary preparations in case you forgot to do that. With that being said, I'm going to truncate my chairperson's report here so that we can move on I want to welcome Noshin Farah. Please stand. Noshin Farah has been selected and now appointed as our new assistant district manager. So congratulations to her. Our district manager is not here tonight. So guess what? Baptism by fire. Ms. Farah, ADM Farah, please come forward. Oh, and if you're a speaker, you come to that mic. If you want to ask a question, come to one of these mics, and then we rotate the mics, okay?
Okay. So good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for being here tonight. I know that the weather is not great, but your dedication to attending tonight's event, your dedication to coming in tonight is greatly appreciated. So my name is Noshin Farah, and I'm the new Assistant District Manager for Community Board 17. And I'd like to begin by acknowledging that Ms. Frazier has requested to be excused from tonight's meeting, which is why she's not here. So I've been with the board for 2 weeks, but I'm excited to share some progress that we've been making. One of our main focuses has been in exploring ways to implement technology to improve the efficiency of our office. So we've been researching and reaching out to other boards to learn about what tools and systems they're using to benefit their office, to improve their workflow. And Ms. Frazier is currently leaning towards a certain software known as Airtable, which is going to be very helpful with managing our office, and something known as Constant Contact for our e-newsletter that we are planning on implementing in the near future. We've been recently preparing for the 2024 Health Fair on Saturday, And in addition to that, we've been working on a plan to start scanning all the documents in the office so that we have an electronic copy that we can easily access and we can put the hard copies on storage. I don't know if how many of you guys have visited our community board recently, but there are a lot of boxes there and we'd like to clean it up. So in order to do that, if we scan everything, we'll have everything organized and good to go for our transition to the new office in the coming year. I appreciate you all for coming out and taking time out of your schedule to attend tonight's meeting, and I look forward to working with all of you in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Committee reports. Just move through them very quickly. Yeah, you had a question? Oh, here.
Chair Daly, I'd like to, a motion to table the committee session and move on to the next item on the agenda. Can I get a committee sessions? Can I get a second?
Oh, I don't think you have.
Yeah, community report.
Committee reports, what you meant to say. Okay, so to table committee reports, do we have quorum, Madam Secretary? We do not, so therefore we cannot vote. All right,
We don't need to vote for that. Yeah, you could.
that's fine. I don't have an issue with it. Well, since we don't have quorum to vote on it, is there any committee? Please, just if you really have something that's imperative that's coming up, that's it. Any committee? Yes, go ahead. And if you're another committee, please, other than good evening, everyone. All right, we're good with that. Yeah, no, yes, do both. Oh, yeah, that's action.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm going to make this quick. My name is Gail Grandison. I'm the Chair of the Education and Youth Committee. I just want to notify you that May 18th is our spelling bee. It's going to be at IS 285 Mile 11. I'm going to have more information sent out to the board members. We're also going to have an essay writing competition in June. More information is going to be sent also around that. And Youth Happening is Thursday, August 4th. We are in the process of getting all the materials and everything for these 3 events. I just wanted to put that out there. And as for the elections, June 2024 is going to be the last general board meeting for the fiscal year is going to be elections. All the offices are up for grabs right now. Chairperson, first vice chair, second vice chair, secretary, and treasurer. I just want to put it in your ears if you are interested in running for any of these positions. You know, just think about it. It would be great. Ms. Frazier will send out the email tomorrow, just giving you more details on the process and when you can, if you are interested, send in your self-nomination forms or if someone wants to nominate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair Antoine?
Greetings all, this is Chair Antoine for the Parks and Beautification Committee. Our next event will be on May 24th. This event will be held on the Nostrand Playground with Councilwoman Farah Lewis and some other agencies. Please, if you can assist, come and support us in cleaning the park, Nostrand Playground. May 7 will be at 7:30 will be our next committee meeting. This year, we will have our big event on June 21st. So if you are an agency who would like to be at this big event at Portegate Park, please reach out to me or call the board office. And let us know whether or not you want to be invited to that big event. Last year, we did a healthy eating, healthy cooking event. We'll do a similar event. If you want to participate, please let us know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. She's just talking about that.
Good evening, everyone. My name is June Prasad. I am actually the chair of the Commerce, but I'm also one of the liaison for the move of the office. So I am going to give a brief report about our move. We actually had a meeting 2 weeks ago with the representative from DCAS advising us that the move was going through. The landlord had signed the lease. Committee board had signed the lease, and they just had one obstacle, which we agreed on, that the committee board will pay for the move of the actual office. However, today I received a very unpleasant email. Unfortunately, we have lost the space. Yes. The landlord chose to lease the space to someone else. I don't know what the legal ramification is because we both had signed the lease. However, because of the process takes over 3 years, I mean, I can't blame the landlord if he needs to, rent it to someone else. So our next step is that DCAS will, the leasing department will let us see some other options, and then we can take it from there. It'll probably be another 3 years. However, that is my report. Unfortunately, it's not a good one. I will open the floor for any questions. Hopefully, I can answer them. Seeing none, I will happily take my seat.
Hi again, sorry, I'm doing triple duty tonight. So the Social Service Committee is having its 2024 Annual Health Fair on Saturday. It's going to be outside the board's office from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's a lot of activities and games. I think there's a flyer in the back. Last I was told, there are about 10 to 13 different agencies that will be in attendance. So we're asking you all to please come out. If there's anyone here from the Social Service Committee, and I see Ms. just came in,
She's just not her?
please come to the side for a second. Thank you.
No. Oh, it is, sorry.
All right. Go ahead, land use, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight, we had a couple hours ago, we had myself and Chair James had a meeting with Department of City Planning regarding the City of Yes housing opportunity. They wanted to speak with our board and just find out about a bunch of information regarding of how we want to approach the informative sessions. And, excuse me, we came up with the following. On May 2nd, at the Land Use Committee meeting at 7:30, we're going to have the preliminary discussion. I invite everybody here that's interested in seeing what that opportunity looks like. Subsequently, unofficially, they'll be joining us next month at the May 15th general board meeting to do a presentation to the board, full throttle. And then they did say that the closing and comment session will end at the end of June. So this was done in the interest of time and trying to make sure that we have enough time to review all the information and make an appropriate decision and have our comments and concerns gathered to make that decision go in before we go out of session for the summer recess. And that's it.
Thank you. So May 15th, they'll be here. All right, any other committee? Yes, go ahead, Chair Oni. And welcome back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chair Oni from the Social Services Committee. Thank you very much for my colleague for talking about the health fair. I also just wanted to note that the fight to save SUNY Downstate is still ongoing, and CB 17 is definitely a part of the process. There's a task force now that is working on letters to members of like state legislation, and as when we have more information to share with the community, we will be doing so. But there is a very dedicated group of people who are meeting weekly to push back to try and save SUNY Downstate for the community. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Did you mention that you meet every Thursday, right? So everybody did, I didn't hear that. So there's a coalition to save SUNY Downstate. It's not open yet? Is it small? Okay, all right, no problem. So with that being said, all the committees have spoken. Let's move on to the next item on the agenda. Pardon me? Agency report, NYPD. I have a trifecta today. So we have a trifecta to do one man's job. All right, let's go. Make sure you introduce yourself when you come up there. Chair Antoine, can I get that list, please, of the agencies? And if you are agency, and you have not signed in, please make sure you do that before Chair, okay?
Greetings from the 67th Precinct. I'm Lieutenant Shafadia. Sorry, Inspector Saliva couldn't make it tonight, but he sends his regards. So I just wanted to let you guys know that crime is down by 2% overall in the 67th Precinct. That's due to the collaborative effort of you guys, the community, and the 67th Precinct. And as we continue to work together, we'll be able to keep crime down and keep that pattern going as we go into the summer. We already has instituted our summer crime reduction plan. And you should be seeing more officers on the street. And this is just to keep us safe. Unfortunately, with the heat, there comes violence sometimes. So to alleviate that, you're gonna be seeing more cops out in the street. Don't be afraid to say hi. Some of them are new, and we just wanna welcome them to the community and help them as they learn their job and understand that what their job is, which is to keep the community safe. I know there's some concerns with like derelict vehicles in the streets. We actually did a tow op where we, last week, where we took 57 derelict vehicles off the street. If you do see any of these vehicles, please call 311. We're really working hard to get these vehicles off the street. I don't know if you guys saw the news, but we had that, I don't know if you saw the one where there was like, we found body parts in a refrigerator. We actually arrested the young person. We apprehended the person outside of New York City, and that's one bad person off the streets. So, you know, we are working hard to keep you guys safe. So if you have any questions or concerns, I'm here. I'll be here for any of your concerns. And yes, gosh. I'm sorry, Mr. Weston, can you come to the mic so I can answer your question?
Also, please note, I'm only taking 3 questions. Only 3. So if not, then you're going to meet with one of the 2 lieutenants. As a matter of fact, Lieutenant Sani, just say hello. So that
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Weston.
Hello, Lieutenant. My question to you is, the officers that are supposed to be on the peak, would it be walking or would it be driving around? How is it going to be done?
It's a mixture of both. Most of them will be on foot.
Okay.
And, you know, and then also there's going to be a good amount
Yeah, I
in
appreciate
cars,
that
but,
because we haven't seen that in years, so appreciate that. Thank you.
okay, no problem.
Another
thank you.
question,
State your name.
Keith Watkins II. I noticed that there were a lot of missing children being reported in Brooklyn. Do you have any statistics in regards to that, or any statement prepared? And what have you been doing in regards to improving the the search for those that have been kidnapping the children?
Well, to answer your question, there are, this is all over the country. This is nationwide.
Yeah, I understand that there's over 1 million children going missing in the United States each year.
Yes, and we have one of the best, we have a huge, vast amount of resources from, we utilize transit when these kids go missing. We actually have a rapid response group, which is all of us, and we utilize the train system, we utilize the transit cops, we utilize specialized units, we utilize our detectives, so K-9. So we utilize all our resources to try to find these some of these children. Unfortunately, some of them are runaways, and you know, some of them don't want to be found. And those are the ones that, you know, we work very hard with the parents to find resources to assist with finding a solution to why these kids don't want to be home. Yes.
The reason why I framed the question as finding those that are kidnapping the children instead of finding the children specifically, there was a recent report that I read in regards to an AI that targets children that's being utilized in Israel. And I do understand that there is a lot of you know, Israeli foreign nationals operating within the NYPD. That's why I framed the question to find the people that are taking the children as opposed to finding the children.
Well, we do have a human trafficking unit, and our human trafficking unit in the NYPD works with a vast amount of units all over the world. This is not just in New York City, all over the world. So if our resources take us outside of New York City, then we have those resources that are able to assist with finding any missing children that are connected to like human trafficking, because I think that's what you're talking about,
Yeah.
right?
All right, wait, Mr. Washington, I can give you another question. All right. So
You could
can
talk to me in the back.
Yeah,
I'll
you
be
can speak to
available
her
for any
and,
other
Speak
questions.
to Lieutenant in the back. Are there anyone else with a question for the lieutenant? Seeing none, Lieutenant Sani, just introduce yourself so people know who you are, and then.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Lieutenant Sani. I'm the Special Operations Lieutenant. I'm in charge of all the special operations that involved in the 67 precinct. I'm in charge of the NCOs, the YCOs, as well as the CRT team. I'm out there towing cars. I know Lieutenant Shafadia spoke about that. If you guys want to email me, you can email me. I'll leave my email out. It's RA. Just let me know when you guys are, everybody's good. It's RAHUL.SAHNI@nypd.org. You can email me with any issues within the community, whether it's a car that's been sitting there for 2 months, or if you have an issue with anything at all. Just email me, and if you have any questions, I'll be out there in the back.
All right, thank you very much. That's it. So if there are questions, please meet them in the back to follow up. And thank you very much for coming out. Where's Detective Skinner? All right, thank you. BPL. You're the next one, right? I can't see behind the podium.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, thanks for having me, everybody. My name is John Huth. I'm the manager at the East Flatbush Library. I just wanted to let you know about a couple of our programs that are coming up. We have a sound healing program on Mondays from 3 to 4, Creole story time on Fridays from 11 to 11:40, a regular story time on Saturdays at 11 o'clock, and our Lego program from 4 to 5 on Wednesdays, Teen Tech Time is Thursday at 4 o'clock, and summer reading is coming soon, y'all, so keep an eye out for the updates about our summer reading program. If you have any questions, I'll be around. Thank you so much for your time. Y'all have a
All
great
right,
evening.
thank you. Yolanda, did you have anything to say to add with the Brooklyn Public Library? No? Okay. DDC. So we're going to start with, let's do DDC first. Who's that? I can't see behind the podium. BPL. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I can't see behind the podium.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I'm from the Rugby branch of the Brooklyn Public Library, and I just wanted to read some of the programs.
State your name for the record.
My name is Yolan Edwards. I'm the Assistant Branch Manager of the Rugby Branch of Brooklyn Public Library. And I just wanted to highlight some of the programmings that we are having for the month of April. On Mondays, we have Kids Create. On Tuesdays, we have mandalas for the adults. It's like a coloring program. I don't have to give the times, that I have some bulletins in the back. We have the adult coloring, we have Latin dance, we have City Harvest, which is a food program that teach you how to eat nutritious food, how to purchase nutritious food. We also have library lanes for the adults. And we have Kids Tech Time. This is on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we have Story Time from 11 to 12. We have Computer Basics, and we have Legos for the kids. On Fridays, we have an exercise class, a seated exercise class for the seniors, Sit and Be Fit, that's what it's called. And that's from 11 until 12. We also have a young adult program from 4 to 5, and it's young adults crafts. And that's basically it. That's it.
Are there any questions? Thank you, Ms. Yolanda. All right. Next, step on up, Grant.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Grant Ewan from the Department of Design and Construction.
And I'm Maurice Durant from McKissick and McKissick, and we are consultants for the Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center. Speak a little louder. My name is Maurice Durant, and I'm the outreach workforce person for Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center, and I work for McKissick.
So the DDC designs and manages the Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center project, which of course needs no introduction, but we wanted to quickly introduce ourselves as sort of the community affairs representatives of the project, both from McKissick on the construction side and DDC on the city agency side. And I guess if I could take a moment to say how important the project is to DDC, not only because it is in the name of the Congresswoman, but also it is an investment into the community. And we want that construction process to reflect the values of the Congressman and have investments throughout the process. So just to say in that mindset, we'd love to partner with the community board, advocates for the community leaders, just to hear feedback, take suggestions on events that we could do to make sure that the construction process is reflective of our goals and the community's goals. So again, to quickly introduce ourselves as points of contact, my email and phone number are up on the sign-in sheet, but of course, the chairperson, the district manager of the CB have that as well, and Maurice as well.
So every week I send out advisories and weekly bulletins. So if you'd like to be a part of the list where you receive that information, I leave my email address and you can just reach out to me and ask me to be added to your list, to the list, I'm sorry.
And perhaps it'd be helpful just to share quick notes on the community advisory side, what has gone on basketball court wise.
Okay, so currently, we're installing steel on the project. That's the phase they're in now. The basketball courts were closed and we just recently opened them with temporary striping. The real striping will be replaced in early May. Also, side of the street on Farragut Place between East 31st and East 32nd is closed, the side closest to the project, because Con Ed is going to be installing equipment and vaults for the project. So each week things are going to change. So as I said, if you need updates or to find out what's going on, we'll add your name to the list. And in probably the next 2 weeks or so, we have what is called a community progress report where we tell you what's going on, what was awarded, workforce, everything that's going on in the project. We'll send it to the community board, but if you want to be on the list to be sent directly to you, you can add your name to the list and you'll receive that information. If you have any questions, whatever it is, I'm the outreach and community person, so you can reach out to me and I'll get your questions answered.
And I'm staring at the online room here, and I saw a couple questions of, can we put our email addresses in the chat? And I'd certainly like to do that if that's okay. But thank you.
All right, before you leave, now, the outreach for the community in terms of workforce development or the contractual side? Who is the person that's supposed to do the contractual to the contractors? The second tier, third tier, prime contractors?
You said, are you talking workforce or are you talking?
No, I'm
contract?
talking about contracts.
And who is the contact person?
From EDC as well as McKissick.
For McKissick, you can, I'll leave the email address. You have, Jody Miller, who's the manager, and there's Brittany, Rivera. These are the people you reach out to if you have any interest, and they'll, let you know what the pre-qualification process is. They'll let you know what the requirements are. Like, you have to be city or state certified as an MWBE. Or they'll let you know what everything is. They'll send you all of that information. I leave that information as well. You have a question?
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna put my email in the.
Oh, sure.
All right, are there any other questions? All right, in the essence of time, I would like to move on. Okay, you don't have anything to add, right? Okay, all right. That's it for agency. We had community session, if I'm reading properly. This is where anybody from the community, right, who's not a board member that you have, and again, please, how much time you got? No, 3. Yeah. You have 3 minutes. So please line up. No.
He was right.
Great evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is George Hutchinson. I am founder and executive chair of Race for Excellence, a STEAM-based group mentoring and after-school program for middle school-aged children. I'm here because we use 10-scale remote control cars to foster the mentoring process and provide students with the soft skills that schools often don't provide for them. They learn how to design and paint the bodies. They learn about how the cars work with focus on the motor, and then they get to drive them. They think it's fun. What they're actually doing is learning how to control themselves. Currently, we have 1 school for September where we have 2 job openings. You will be running the after-school program 2 days a week, 2 hours a day. I will provide the training. I am a trained mentor, and I am trained to train mentors. The program starts in September. Training is through the summer, and training is paid. For more information about the job opportunities, please go to our website. I listed it in the chat. It is race4excellence.org. Again, that's race4excellence.org. Also, we are looking for middle schools to host the after-school program. I'm hoping for 2 more because we have big plans to have the schools compete against one another. Please, again, go to raceforexcellence.org to find out more about the program and contact me. I'll be here till the end of the meeting if you have any questions. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. How you doing? How everybody doing? My name is Natasha Estiva. I am from the East Flatbush East Flatbush Family Enrichment Center coming to East Flatbush in summer of 2024. We will be located at 3521 Church Avenue on the corner of Brooklyn. We have not started our construction yet, but we do have some events going on in the community. We have a financial literacy event going on April 23rd. at the Sesame Flyers Community Center, which is located at 3510 Church Avenue from 5 to 7 p.m. We are also hiring and looking for a part-time per diem community liaison that resides in East Flatbush and is very knowledgeable of East Flatbush. You can also email us at eastflatbushfec@risingground.org. The FEC is under Rising Ground Organization Incorporated. And if you have any questions, I'll make sure that my email and information is in the chat. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, Ms. Natasha. Next.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, board members. Thank you for the opportunity to share this. And I would like to express gratitude to Ms. Fraser also for opening this door. My name is DeLon Chester. I'm the Director of Community Outreach and Engagement and Training from the League Center for Behavioral Health and Wellness. It's a mental health clinic for children and young adults. We are located at 2211 Church Avenue, the junction of Flatbush and Church Avenue. The clinic is a year in existence, but the agency, the League, has been around for 53 years, educating youths and young adults that has various mental health diagnoses. Why is their clinic is such important? Because this clinic we provide SIFTR services. We go to the home, we meet in a safe space wherever they are. We meet them where they are comfortable. We have licensed clinical social workers, LMSWs, LCATs, licensed clinical arts therapists. And what we do, we provide mental health therapy for individuals in the community. Our staff comprises of individuals that look like the members of the community. Age dynamics varies also. So what we're offering is therapy, clinical therapy to the individuals in the community that are in need of this such. The document is in the back. The QR code is in the back also. We're very easily accessible, and each board member, you have one also. Look forward to working with you in the community. We're currently working with the police precinct also and various schools. Thank you for the opportunity. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is CK Price. I am not a board member, obviously, but I am on a few committees, among them the Housing Committee and the Land Use Committee. I'm speaking because I wanted to be sure, due to technical difficulties last meeting, that we put it into the record that last meeting, Councilmember Mealy came in to share what she's offering for the community, proceeded to become offended because someone accidentally didn't address her by her title, and then proceeded to be combative with us as a community board. Now, this was not made public, again, for technical reasons, but I think it's very important that we put into the record that this is how we were being treated by our city council member, particularly when we have a potential project in her district that is also in our board region that will require her attention and about which she clearly did not really know the matter. That is all.
Thank you very much. Any other community session? Seeing, yes, is that, Keisha, did you have something you want to add?
Good night, everyone.
No, come up, Ms. Sidney.
Good night, everyone. Keisha Sidney with Sesame Flyers. Just wanted to share with you guys two things. We do have registration going on now for our summer camp program. We do have two locations, two beacons. It's at Winthrop location, 905 Winthrop, and also at Buildersea, which is in Canarsie. So you guys can reach out to us. You can find us on the website, and if your kids still need to be part of the Summer Rising program. And also just want to reinforce, they're still doing the lotto for summer youth employment, just so people can be aware when your kids get selected It's 4 days they have to upload all documents. If the documents is not uploaded in time, they will get put back into the Lotto system. And a lot of people are not even checking their emails because some of the kids has registered themselves. So please, the Lotto is run every Tuesday afternoon, or at least by 3 o'clock. Please check your emails if the kids didn't get chosen. Please check the emails to make sure, and you have from that time to upload all your documents up. Okay, because by the Sunday evening, if it's not there, they go back into the system. So just wanted to make sure and share that information. Okay, thank you.
Question. Take your name.
Yeah. Hi, Tamara Thomas, Secretary for the Board. Nice to meet you, and thank you for being here. My question is, why is it a lottery, and how long ago did that start?
So for as long as I know, so that we have ours, it's the community base. So there are different types of contracts. The one we do have is community based, and it is a lotto. For as long as I have been with them, and I've known, and even beyond my time, it's always been that for that particular contract. There are other contracts where I know, like if in the kids that's in District 75, once they apply, they automatically get, they're automatically in. And there's also, I think it's with work readiness. That's also another contract, and that's with some of the high schools, they have it. Once you register, you're automatically in, but ours are, it's community based. So in that way, we can collect kids from throughout, throughout Brooklyn or even Manhattan. We've gotten kids from the city and from Queens, because we don't know who you're gonna get because it's the lotto. So it goes through the city, they select it, and they send the kids to us. So we cover 700 kids every year for the summer youth employment. Did that answer your question? You're still like a little confused.
Well, I'll ask you off stage. Thank you. Thanks.
Ms. Sidney, before you sit, businesses, if they're interested in employing some of the youth some of SYEP workers, how do they go about doing that?
So I'm so glad you asked. I do have some applications in my bag. If you are interested in becoming a work site where we can now place the kids, as I said, we do get 700 of them every year. You can collect an application from me. I have a few in my bag. If not, I can always send it to you digitally if you are interested. And just keep in mind that the kids can work with you hybrid or all virtual, or if it's, in person, right? You just have to give them 25 hours a week. And the city pays them. They're making $16 an hour now. And it's kids from the ages of 16 to 24. You can also request, if it is that you need just 18 to 24, you can request that once you put in the job application. It's, I think, don't quote me on this. I think it's May 2nd for when it's the closing time to register as a business. If you would like to have some kids to work with you for the summer, it's 6 weeks of that. Any questions? No?
All right, thank you, Ms. Sidney.
Thank you very much.
Just for clarity, that's fine, Ms. Sidney, you could have a seat. There are different programs with SYEP, right? So her program has lottery. So there's also people who apply and who might just straight apply and get in. And like she said, like special education, you could have a different requirement as well. So if your child is in special education and meet the age, and there's a difference between 14-year-old and 15-year-old and so forth and so forth. The thing that you got to do is you got to check. Come on up. Right? Are you here to speak, sir? Community session. Come on up. Right? So you just have to read up on where it qualifies, and the different companies that does it as well. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Akel Williams, and I'm the Director of Community and Culture at Caribbean. We are the organization that helped to spearhead the designation of Little Caribbean. I just wanted to announce 2 events that we have coming up in the month of June. The first is the Best of Little Caribbean Awards, which is a celebration of the finest Caribbean establishments and entrepreneurs in Brooklyn. It's also an opportunity for networking and to engage with Little Caribbean businesses, business owners, merchants, stakeholders, and community members alike. It will be on June 6th at the Prospect Park Boathouse from 6 to 8:30 p.m. You can always check out our website or our social media at Little Caribbean NYC for more information. We also have the One Love Little Caribbean Day that will be happening on June 23rd in Prospect Park at the Boathouse as well from 12 to 6 p.m. The One Love Little Caribbean Day celebration provides an opportunity for the community to celebrate and enjoy Caribbean culture and music from across the diaspora. And it supports the local economy by providing an outlet for vendors to sell their products, services, et cetera, to a dynamic crowd. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right. With that being said, community session is now closed. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is roll call. I'll turn over to Madam Secretary.
Okay, Kwame Afre. Tiffany Anderson. Antoine Berlot Antoine. Hassan Bakrdeen. Celia Berlin. Teresa Brereton. Louis Brown. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly. Hermina Daniels. Natasha Duncan. If you're online, I cannot count you as present. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, is she? Because she didn't answer. She said, I thought she said it online. Oh, is she? Natasha?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's in the back.
Oh, sorry about that.
There's a noise behind us. Sorry.
Lena Fenderson. I saw that Miss French Kenton is excused. Charles Galbraith. Rose Graham. Gail Grandison. Michael Hill. Julia James. Osney Lewis. Tricia Lewison. Brandon Matherin. Edith Mark. Daniel McCabe. Khadijat Oluwo. Montserrat Oni. She's present. June Prasad. Janice Reed. Dr. Carol Renaud. Aaron Roth. Menachem Shanowitz. Antoinette Smart. Kamara Swaby. Sylvester Simone. George Tate. Tamara Thomas is present. Hislat Tersoon. Marguerite Viglianti. Kenrick Westcott. Ivor Wood. I did, yeah. If you're a board member and you did not hear your name, please state your name so I can mark you present. If you are a board member and I did not call your name and you're in this auditorium, please state your name so I can mark you present. All right, hearing none.
While our secretary tallies up to see if we have quorum, which I believe we do, but for confirmation, there was no minutes for, at least I didn't see it. Right? Did anybody receive minutes? Because I didn't see it.
No.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, because I see the date, the months here.
And I
Yeah,
think we voted on
for
that
the
last time, in December.
We were supposed to vote on, yes, that's what happened. The meeting was, we were supposed to vote on it at the last meeting. It did come out last month and we didn't vote on it.
Oh, because of the tech issue.
Because the meeting was, yes.
Adjourned.
So I don't know if anybody remembers, but anybody wants to make a motion to accept those minutes?
Tamara Thomas makes a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, could I get a second? Dan McCabe, seconds. We do have quorum, Madam
At
Secretary.
24, yes, we do have quorum.
Thank you. All in favor of accepting the minutes for October, November, December of 2023 that was supposed to be done last month, please do so by saying aye. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstention? See none, the motion carries. Next item on the agenda, we have several public hearing. One is a proposed amendment to CB 17 bylaws. Chair of the Bylaws Committee, please step forward.
Good evening. We should have received a copy of the proposed bylaws in case anybody needs them. Were they at the back? I know the members received them, not just the committee received them. The first amendment relates to the term, this is a correction. In the past bylaws, it called for 4 years as a maximum term. Inadvertently, it stands at 8, and so this is a correction. Any questions?
Repeat that, I didn't hear it.
Or-
Repeat what you just said.
Amendment number 1, rotation of board officers, is a correction to the bylaws. There was an amendment to change the term of officers from 1 year to 2 years. And what we should have done then is to change the rotation period, because as it reads right now, a board member can serve for 8 years. So the question to you tonight is whether or not you want to keep it to be 4 years as a maximum. The second amendment relates to undertaking an annual review to assess each employee's performance, to set professional development goals and ensure alignment with
You have to do each amendment or each piece, vote, move on to the next one.
I asked if there were any questions or words.
No, but it's been voted on, correct?
In the interest of time, we're going to try to vote
No,
on the
but
amendments.
It's each one, because it's a bylaw amendment. So you're going to do each one, vote on it, debate it, vote on it, move on to the next one.
Okay. Madam Chair, Chair Thomas, would you call the roll call, please? There were no comments.
Wait, so the resolution on the floor is that you want the term of an individual up here to be 4 years or 2 terms.
It's not me, that's what the
I'm
bylaw
asking,
said.
I'm asking this
But
question.
when we changed the term to serve for 2 years, we inadvertently didn't change that to be 4 years. So it's not new, it's a correction.
Okay. Okay.
There
So
being no further discussion, can we,
are there any,
Chair Thomas?
anyone speaking in opposition to the proposed amendment to the bylaws? Please step forward. Come to the mic, Ms. Bellin, and please state your name for the record.
Celia Bellin, board member, committee member. I just need clarification. Does it mean that one term is 4 years, so that means your 2 terms is 8 years? So you said the amendment is asking that, do we want to have an individual serve 8 years? or
Right
4
now,
years?
right now, an individual can serve for 8 years as an officer. Yes. And that's what the correction is for. So
we want to change from 8 years to 4 years.
we're not, okay. The prior bylaws stated the term was 1 year and the maximum number of years someone could serve concurrently was 4 years, right? 4 terms. So when we changed it to be 2 years, you can serve for 2 years, but it says for 4 terms, that made it 8. So this is to correct it to what it was before, that the maximum number of years you can serve in the same position is 4 years.
Thank you.
Consecutively. Okay.
Ms.
State your name,
James,
state your
I
name.
have a question.
State your name for the record.
Sorry, Asher Cunningham, first vice chair. I just want to know, is there a clause written in the event that when we do elections and there is no one steps up for a said position, how do we then remedy that situation when we would have a clause that bars said member from running again?
At that point of time, a vote can be taken from the table, from the floor to address the situation.
Okay. So I rise in opposition to the amendment, as I stated before, but it was not for the minute, and it's easily explained. For those of you moving forward, right, moving forward, every board member will only have 8 years on the board. That's it. So there is no, so anybody who was appointed to the board after 2022, right? I think I'm about right. 2022 or 2021, one of those years. By 2029, you'll have 8 years and you'll be removed from the board. You're right, 2021, right. So as of that, if you're putting in an amendment, right, that means that you do not have continuity on the board. Okay, there's no continuity on the board if you limit the terms, because the person can only spend 8 years. So in essence, what you're saying is that somebody comes on the board in June, in May, and they become the chair, and then they remain chair for the next 8 years that they're in office, right? That's the likelihood of what the amendment is saying. And I'm saying to you that the amendment becomes null and void because the chair will be selected and no one will be eligible, not to mention follow up to what Chair Cunningham stated, which is you might not have somebody eligible to run for chair. So therefore, it kind of makes the amendment kind of like a moot point. It's just as a matter of fact. I'm going to put this in here just as a matter of fact.
Ms. Chair,
Wait.
Chair, you've spoken for 3 minutes. Do you mind having somebody else speak, please? Is that okay with you?
I just passed over
Okay,
to Ms.
yeah,
Ms.
thank you.
Thomas.
Mhm.
Okay, Tamara Thomas, Secretary of the Board. I'm obviously speaking in favor of this and piggybacking on what the chair has pointed out. On the flip side of that coin, if you come in and you only have 8 years and you have a sitting chair that is in the position for 8 years, then you yourself do not have the opportunity to rise up into leadership. And so I think 4 years, is plenty of time to get the work that you envision for the community done and step aside so that somebody else who is also term limited will have the opportunity to serve in leadership as well. I think it's only fair.
Thank you. Can I just point out, this is not new. This is what has been about 15 years ago. The bylaws were changed to have term limits, the same way the city did. Excuse me, Mr. Chair. 15 years ago, this change was implemented.
I'm just saying.
Inadvertently, I'm just explaining,
Wait.
inadvertently,
Just
when we
point of order,
changed
point
the
of order.
bylaws last year, it was missed.
Point
So
of
this
order,
is not a
Madam Chair.
change. This is to make it consistent with what it was for the past 15 years, that the chair cannot serve for more than 4 years. And we've been doing this for the past, actually it's more than 15 years, for the past 20 years. Chairs have routinely rotated off after 4 years and the board has not collapsed.
Point of order.
So-
Wait, no, there's a point of order comes before. Prior to now and the current borough president, there were no term limits on on a person who was as a board member. So therefore, because there was no term limit, a person can be on the board and rerun after 1 year. So now there are term limits, so you cannot be on the board at all. So there's a difference in terms of the dynamics. Madam Chair, Madam Second Vice Chair.
June Prasad, Second Vice Chair. I'd like to call the question.
Okay, the question has been called. There's been debate on both sides. The question has been called. All in favor of calling the question, please do so by saying aye. All opposed, please say nay. Nay. With that being said, can we get a roll call on the vote, please? Oh, so if
Excuse
you
me.
vote, and this was,
If you're gonna, okay,
wait, hold on.
if
I'm
you
sorry.
vote, if you vote yes, you're voting to maintain what was always in place for the past 20 years, that an officer cannot serve for more than 4 years, then can subsequent to that, also serve for another 2 years after that. So you're not precluded from serving again. If you vote no, you're saying that you prefer a system where an officer can serve for 8 years consecutively. Tammy, call the roll call, please.
Okay, just to reiterate, no vote is for what was put forth in the bylaws. Yes is to maintain the status quo. Okay? All right. With that,
Sorry, point of clarification. Yes, sorry. Yes is to restore what was in the bylaws, that an officer cannot serve for more than 4 years consecutively. After that, another term, they can come back. If you vote no, you're saying that you prefer to have a situation where an officer can can serve for 8 consecutive years.
oh, okay, sorry. So let's reverse that. Okay, so if you're voting yes, so yes means you agree with the.
Yes.
Okay, so yes means you agree with the bylaw as it's currently written that we're proposing now. No means you prefer to keep it how it was, which was the 8 years. So yes is 4 years, no is 8 years. With that, I'm going to call the vote. Kwame Afre. Sorry? Berlad Antoine. Celia Berlin. Teresa Brereton. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly. Natasha Duncan. Lena Fenderson. Rose Graham. Gail Grandison. Julia James.
Yes.
Osney Lewis.
Abstain.
Tricia Lewison. Daniel McKay. Montserrat Oni. June Prasad. Janice Reed. Dr. Carol Renault. Antoinette Smart. Tamara Swaby. Simone Sylvester. Tamara Thomas votes yes. Mr. Westcott. Ivor Wood. Okay, I'm going to count.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair, while she's doing this, on point of privilege, There is a second resolution which is going to be dispensed with, and there's some people in the audience who are here for that particular resolution. May I have your permission to just very quickly dispense with it?
I'm sorry.
There is a second resolution on the table. Since originally I was going to go through all the amendments very quickly, but there is another resolution which is going to be dispensed, which you're not going to vote on. There is no need to vote on it. I just want to address it very quickly. So if anybody needs to leave, they can leave. So can I have a
ahead.
point of privilege to
Go
do
ahead.
that, please? Thank you very much. Also included on the agenda was a resolution with regard to the Shirley Chisholm project. I want to state that City Councilor Farah Lewis has been tremendous. She exceeded my expectations in the way that she has dealt with the situation. She's been very concerned about it, and her office is taking great steps to address it. So going forward, action is being taken to make sure that MBEs in the community have the opportunity to participate in this. And so I don't think there's any need to really go ahead with the resolution because of that. DDC has also taken the time to come out tonight because they also recognize what took place and they're taking corrective measures. So I'm just simply saying that, I mean, perhaps by show of hands, we
Great.
can agree not, I mean.
Great, hold on, you're the committee chair, that you, right, you can just simply say that I'm gonna rescind the.
I'm explaining why I'm rescinding.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm saying you
Okay,
you
but
can use
thank
those
you.
words.
So I want to first, I'm rescinding it on the basis that the city council person, Farah Lewis, as well as DDC have been very responsive in addressing the situation. And I'm hoping that as they take corrective actions, that this will not happen again. So I thank the city council person, and I thank DDC for what they're doing.
Thank you, so that resolution is now rescinded. Continue.
Okay, great.
Are there any other
Somebody-
resolutions?
Okay, that's the only one.
Looking at the
The
agenda.
next amendment, which I think we
Wait,
should. what?
Should I count the vote?
Yes.
Okay, so there were 20 yeses, 2 nos, 2 abstentions. The motion carries.
Resolution.
The
The
second.
resolution carries, sorry.
Thank you. The second amendment deals with undertaking an annual review to assess each employee's performance, set professional development goals, and ensure alignment with organizational objectives based on guidelines which have been stipulated here. The floor is now open for any comments. Does anybody rise in opposition to the amendment? Can I call the vote? Thank you.
Is there any debate? See no debate, debate is closed automatically. Madam Secretary, please make the roll call.
Okay. Kwame Afre. Berlard Antoine. Berlard? So this is about the Second Amendment that was inserted into the bylaws for annual review of office employees. That's a yes?
You gotta say yes for the record or no, or abstain. We didn't hear you.
She nodded her head. And okay, she has to verbalize it, okay. All right. Celia Boleyn? Teresa Brereton? Asher Cunningham? Roderick Daly? Natasha Duncan? I hear you, thank you. Lena Fenderson? Yes. Rose Graham? Gail Grandison? Michael Hill? Julia James?
Yes.
Osney Lewis? Tricia Lewison? Daniel McCabe? Montserrat? That's a yes. June Prasad? Janice Reed? Dr. Carol Renault? Antoinette Smart? Camera Swaby? Simone Sylvester? Tamara Thomas says yes. Kenrick Westcott? Ivor Wood? All right, that's 24 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Oh, sorry, that's 25 because Michael came in.
Okay, good.
All right, thank you. You have, is that it?
Yeah.
I didn't get that in my,
Oh, I'm so sorry. What is your name, ma'am? Oh, sorry. Okay, let me mark you present.
Okay. So while she's doing that, the third amendment is simply to clarify the role of the secretary. There was an interpretation that gave the impression that the secretary was responsible for actually doing the minutes. So this makes it very clear it's the office staff's responsibility to do the minutes. Is there any discussion, debate on this amendment? Please.
Well, I mean, I think I have some amendments. I think it is clear, but I do also think it could be a little bit more clear. It could be clearer because I think you added that the secretary is the recording officer. I think at this point, it is still putting the responsibility on the secretary. But I think if you say the completion of such minutes shall be the primary responsibility performed by the staff, by the district manager or whomever is assigned. Using the word primary, I think is important for the staff because I think the responsibility is still on the secretary based on how I've read this. If you understand.
Not quite sure. Primary means like could also be secondary, right?
Or finding a word that could really put, because at this point, I think it also puts the responsibility still on the secretary, while the staff is still a person who can fit in whenever. That's how I've read it. But I think saying the completion of such minutes shall be primarily performed by staff designated by the district manager will actually put the responsibility back on the staff designated by the district manager.
Okay, just gonna ask you one question. The last sentence says very definitively, the compilation of such minutes shall be performed by staff designated by the district manager. Still not strong enough?
I think using the word, I mean, you could probably find a different word, but I've read it that they're performing the responsibility duly. That's how I've read it. And I'm not sure if anyone else would have.
I just for, question, Madam Chair. In the bylaws, it states that the staff member, for whatever committee it is supposed to send out the minutes 1 week and the agenda, send out the minutes to the chair for review, right? And then to be sent out 1 week prior to the meeting. How does this amendment change that?
This is you said send out, responsibility for sending out does not mean compiling it. So in the past, it reads, and shall be assisted. Here's a key change I think we need to focus on. If you look at the first part of this, it says shall be assisted in the compilation. And that was interpreted to mean the primary responsibility is on the secretary.
Gotcha.
And the staff can assist her. What this says very categorically, it is the staff's responsibility to compile it.
Gotcha. Understood. All right. Is there any debate? Is there any debate? Yes, Kwame.
Can you speak up? I can't.
You gotta speak up, come to the mic. Chair Frey.
Sorry.
Just clarity on the secretary.
State your name for the record.
My name is Kwame Afray, Land Use Chair. Clarity on the role of the officer's role as the secretary with the minutes. Is this stating that although the minutes will be compilated by the staff, that should we request any minutes that we would go to the secretary to obtain that? The officer's role as the secretary is what when reading this?
So my understanding of this is simply the preparation. This is about the preparation of the minutes.
All right.
So the preparation of the minutes should come from the staff and follow through by the secretary
Okay.
or whomever committee chair, not just, so it's not about distribution.
Okay.
It's about, because the minutes are supposed to be given, like, just like today's meeting. When we do a meeting or any meeting, the meeting is supposed to be given to the members of that committee or the board. So this is how the minutes should be prepared. And the staff members should prepare the minutes and give it to the chair,
Give to the
and
secretary.
the secretary.
That's what I mean. So the
Yes.
secretary.
So it's about preparation.
All right.
So, yeah, so just to clarify for you and for everyone, when I first started as a chair, I did the minutes, like I did the minutes
Yeah.
as a volunteer on top of my day job, and this was not being done by the office. This should not be.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
So that's what this is correcting. So I rise in support of this amendment, obviously.
So officially, she's a recording she has recorded.
Just raise it.
Her responsibility is as a recording officer, but she doesn't do the actual work.
First vice chair?
Again, I really want it to be extremely clear because I agree with you. And so therefore, I would like to make an amendment to the
Please state your
resolution.
amendment.
And just to add 2 words, the secretary shall be the second recording officer. So second is being added. Recording officer of the,
Could you tell it for the audience what we're looking at?
so we're looking at the insertion,
On which line?
line 1. And so the secretary shall be the second, adding second,
Insert the word second.
insert the word second recording officer of the board with responsibility for minutes of the executive committee and the board's monthly special and emergency meetings. The compilation of such minutes shall be, I am inserting primarily performed by staff designated by the district manager. I believe this, adding these 2.
You can't do that yet. Can I get a second? I see Ms. Montserrat, you're recognized. Go ahead and speak to the motion.
I believe adding those 2 words clarifies what you're trying to do, because the way I read it, still, I believe that it is still not clear that the secretary is going to be supported by the staff. And I think we really need to strengthen it. So I just believe adding that will help.
Madam Chair, you could accept it as a friendly amendment?
It's
or-
not, because it changes the whole dynamics as well. It now interjects the secretary as having responsibility for actually doing the minutes. The secretary has the responsibility to make sure it's done, and it's,
Wait.
in any body,
hold on,
she's
hold on.
called the recording
Wait.
officer,
Madam
but she's
Chair, hold
not
on 1 second, 1
responsible for
second.
actually doing the work.
1 second.
So there are 3 people in the office. If one can't do it, the
hold on, can
second
you
or the
wait 1
third.
second? 1 second, please.
I recognize-
Mr. Thomas, 1 second. 1 second. There's a motion on the floor. There's a amendment to the motion, to the resolution on the floor, right? At this point, we're only discussing the amendment to the motion.
Can we amend the amendment?
You can, but this will be the last time. So if you have a comment about the amendment, if you're in favor or opposed or want to amend, you stand and do so now.
Oh. Okay, so I guess
I rise to.
I rise to amend the amendment and change the word from second to supervise. That way, it's clear that it's not actually being performed by the secretary, but the ultimate responsibility at the end of said preparation by the office is by the secretary.
What
Does
about
that make sense?
What about the second word? So you're only changing second to supervise.
Right, the supervising recording officer.
What about the word primary? You leaving that in?
Yeah, I'm okay with primary.
All right, so Madam.
Okay, so then what would be the right because I understand where he's coming from. Okay. so
Wait,
then
you guys can't have,
I know.
sorry. Right, we have to move on. So there's
Miss-
it is amend, do you accept that as a friendly amendment? He accepts the friendly amendment. We do not need to debate it. The word supervisor will now subsume the word, what is the word that you had?
It's actually added.
Second.
With supervisor. So,
It's subsumed. You're subsuming the word, right? You're taking the word over, right?
Correct.
Changing the word, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now we voted on, just debated that amendment. Is there any debate on the floor? Yes. You can't amend, you can only debate. Okay, so you must say to speak in favor or against.
So I'm Dan McCabe. I'm in opposition to the amendment. I believe that this is the deliberative body that's elected and the secretary should perform the duties. If the district manager or some other person is going to assist, that's an internal discussion. That shouldn't be an amendment. I believe that the hired people to help should be instructed by the body, but the body should control the minutes. The minutes should not be in control of someone who is not elected by the body. I don't know if that's confusing, but
So there's a little bit, are you saying that the secretary should be responsible for the minute?
should be responsible, should be able to instruct.
I think that's what we're trying to clear up in the language. That's
But
what we're struggling with.
I don't believe that it should be I don't believe that the person in charge of the minutes should be someone who's paid to do it. I believe that the deliberative body should have somebody appointed to do it, and they can instruct someone who's paid to do it.
And that is why she is the recording officer.
Yeah.
She's the recording officer, but she does not have to type it up herself.
Okay.
The compilation will be done by staff, but the secretary, is responsible for it.
But it looks like what we're trying to do is put into the bylaws something that's just a day-to-day work issue. So the person who's hired to do the work should follow the instruction of who
Okay.
hires them.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Is there any, wait, 1 second. I'm not saying no, I'm just simply, I need hands, right? So I know up here I can hear people, but if I see the hands, it's a little bit better, all right? So, please make sure you state I rise in opposition, in support, or you're asking for a clarifying question.
June Prasad. This is more I rise for a comment. Mr. McCain, there have been many years where we had no volunteer to be secretary because no one wants to physically record the minutes.
You're right.
So I rise in support of this new amendment. Sorry.
Mr. First Vice Chair, you had your hand up? That was your comment, so you yield. With that being said, is there anyone who's speaking? No, we have one speaker against. We have one speaker for the motion, for the resolution, for the amendment, correct? So now we're only voting on the amendment. If the amendment carries, then now it will subsume the original resolution, original amendment to the bylaws. Everybody understand that? Okay. So then you're only voting on the amendment. Would that be? No, the one that the first vice chair, the amendment comes first. So then if you want to reread the amendment, first vice chair, please do so.
So what this amendment would be saying
Wait, hold
is
on, hold
that the secretary also has responsibility for preparing the minutes.
Madam Chair, you cannot debate at this moment.
I'm clarifying what the amendment is saying. It says we're going to vote that if you vote yes in favor of the amendment, you are saying that the secretary also has responsibility, not primary, but secondary, but she has the responsibility for typing up the minutes as well.
Madam Chair, you can't do that. That's debating. You can't do that. You just read the amendment and they vote. That's it. No explanation. unless somebody asks for it. Go ahead, read the amendment.
Okay, the secretary shall, I'm just reading the insertion, correct?
Yes. Now
Okay.
you read the whole thing.
Okay, so what we're deleting is, or what we're proposing to delete is, the secretary shall be the recording officer of the board, taking minutes of the executive committee and the board's monthly meetings.
Just a second. Insertion.
I just asked you that.
No, the amendment says that you insert the second recording officer. That's
Right.
what the amendment is.
Right.
So that's what
But
we
I
need
was
to
just
read.
asking, because he just told me to read the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's
so
why.
the,
So
look at
we-
the
we're
search,
just
the
reading the
secretary shall be
insertion.
the second recording officer.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right, so the insertion is, or the proposed insertion is, the secretary shall be the supervising recording officer of the board with responsibility for minutes of the executive committee and the board's monthly, special, and emergency meetings. The compilation of such minutes shall be primarily performed by staff designated by the district manager.
Okay. That's what we voted on. So if you are in favor of the amendment, simply would
insertion.
you say yes. If you oppose, you say no, and obviously abstention, I abstain. That, Madam Secretary.
Kwame Afre. Berlot Antoine. Celia Berlin. Teresa Brereton. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly. Natasha Duncan. Lena Fendison. Rose Graham. Gail Grandison. Michael Hill. Julia James.
Abstain.
Osney Lewis.
Abstain.
Tricia Lewison. Edith Mark. Daniel McCabe. Montserrat Oni. That's a yes. June Prasad. I'm sorry, did you say?
No.
She said no. Janice Reed. Dr. Carol Renault. Antoinette Smart. Camera Swaby. Simone Sylvester. Mara Thomas is yes. Kenrick Westcott. Kenrick Westcott. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. And Ivor Wood.
Okay, while she tallies the votes, thank you. The third amendment deals with board attendance. And what was not clear in the prior amendment that said, if you're absent for 4 meetings, you can be removed. It didn't specify whether it's on a calendar basis or whether it's on the board's fiscal basis. So technically, what you could have is someone being absent for almost 7 months from the board meeting before they could be removed. So what this does is clarify that any 12-month period whereby you are absent or absent for 4 meetings, the board can move to take action to remove the member from the board. So back in September, October, November, December, we had a problem with quorum because there were members who had been absent for 4 meetings from January through June, but they hadn't been absent for 4 meetings from September to December. So I hope this clarifies it. What it does say, it's on any 12-month period that you are absent for more than 4 times, the board can take action to remove you from the board. because quorum is very important. The community comes out to the meetings, we need to respect them, and it's very important that we have full attendance. Is there the floor, the,
Sorry, I just want to let
Yes.
the vote.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, before we
Oh, the
begin
vote?
the
Go
next,
ahead.
yes. So regarding the role of the secretary insertion into the bylaws, yes is 17, no is 3, and A abstention is 6.
Okay, thank you.
okay, good.
All right, it
So
carries.
the vote is now open. Are there any, the floor is
So it
now open
carries.
for any debate. Does anyone want to debate in
Anyone-
favor of the amendment? It's now
Ms.
open.
Bellin, you're
Mhm.
recognized.
Celia Bellin, board member, committee member. Though I recognize the importance of quorum, but life happens. Things happen where people sometimes have no control over. Therefore, I think that the situation should be taken into consideration why somebody would miss 4 meetings, or if they're up to 4 and something happens and they cannot make it to be 5, they should not just be taken off the board. It should be brought to the executive and decide what the matter was, that why the person cannot attend. At the end of the day, this is a voluntary thing. People are giving up of their times, so that should be taken into consideration. Thank you.
You are absolutely right, and the bylaws does make provision. So it's not automatic if someone is absent for four terms. If someone is sick, if someone has to leave the country, there are provisions. What this does is simply clarify the period in which the 4 terms are, the 4 absences are considered. So if somebody is absent for 4, they can write, they're permitted, the bylaw specifies it. They can send a letter to the board and ask for special consideration. It is not an automatic removal.
I rise to amend, right? And I would like, instead of saying any 12-month period, I would like for it to be specific and say the calendar year and the fiscal year. Reason being, the secretary, the first vice has to constantly tabulate the attendance. And as the previous board member stated, it is a voluntary activity, and that would require additional work. So if you make it the calendar year and fiscal year, right? So in other words, there are 2 timeframes that you're looking at only, not over a 12-month period, but the 2 timeframe that you're analyzing the data and give back about the attendance. So I feel like those 2 words need to be inserted instead of any. Send the word any.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Perhaps this is a point of order, but, and I know it's been a while, but I could swear that we had, as a member of the bylaws committee, I thought we had said that it would be fiscal year to match with the
The bylaws didn't say that. It didn't specify.
Sure? it
She
didn't
said
say
the
that?
committee.
Mhm.
I thought that we had agreed on
That-
that.
I don't know, I'm not on the
I-
committee.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
it's been a while.
The problem with the
Wait.
problem,
Wait,
one
wait.
second, the problem, I have this at the floor right now, Mr. Chair. The when
you're talking to her.
when you say just a fiscal year,
Meaning from
Right.
September to June.
Correct.
Right.
if a member in March, April, May, June was absent for 4 months, right? But didn't, and then continued the absence, you can have a total of 8 absences for the year, right? 8 absences before any action can be taken if it's on a fiscal year. Can I say one more time?
Yes, that is true.
Right?
Wait,
So
can
to
we-
eliminate that, if you look at any 12-month period, if they're absent, right, for 4 meetings, it captures it. That's what it does.
Okay, so I made an amendment, right? It has to be second in order for it to be valid. Is there a second?
The Maritime seconds that.
Tomorrow time is second. So we're only debating the amendment at this moment. Yes. Unexcused. Well, define excuse. According to the, let's just be honest. Wait, Tricia, I'm sorry, Member Louison. Just to answer the bar president perspective is there's no such thing as unexcused absence. So I just want to be clear. We as a board, however, have seen extenuating circumstances, death in the family, or this or that, right? We have looked up on that. Okay, but according to the VP's office, there is no such thing as unexcused absence. I just want to be clear. The amendment is on the floor. It's been duly made and duly seconded. Is there any debate on the amendment? Again, the amendment is simply take out the word any and look at the calendar year and the fiscal year.
What difference is that if you have a rolling 12 months? I don't see the difference.
Because it,
What's the difference? Specify what the difference is.
all right, so at this point, you can rise in opposition to it and you can speak against it.
Horizon opposition because it does not, you have not interpreted what you've just amended, meaning that if you're looking at the calendar year and fiscal year, it's the same as any 12-month period. That's mathematically how it works. So what I'm saying is that, for example, if it's just a fiscal year, someone could, look at 23, 24. Someone could be absent from February, March, April, May, June for 4 months, right? And then be absent from September through December, a total of 8 meetings before the board can do anything.
So if you look at the calendar year is from January to December. So if somebody, let's say the first vice, looks at the attendance over the summer, and you have been missing for 4 absences, right? That is grounds under this for removal, as the first vice chair has done. So the point that I'm making is that we don't want to sit here and give additional work, because then that means you have to go through every month. So that's all I'm saying to the debate. At the end of the day, I don't want to tarry. So it's either you voted up or you voted down. And if you voted down, we go back to the original amendment. So that's it. So I don't know.
Can I just say, let's read the full amendment. The data on board members' attendance shall be compiled by staff. So to your point that the first vice chair has to work, that's null and void because the amendment says the data on board members' attendance shall be compiled by staff, assigned by the district manager, and submitted to the first vice chair for review.
Thank you. All right, with that being said, can I get a motion to close the debate? Thank you. Can I get a second? Thank you. So we are voting on the amendment. If you vote yes, obviously it's like the previous one. Okay? If you vote no and no carries, then you go back to your original amendment. Secretary Thomas.
Kwame Afre. Berlot Antoine. Celia Berlin. Is that an abstention?
It's changed to what I don't understand, quite honestly.
Yeah, I think the problem some people are having is
For clarity is, you're looking at 2 different periods, either the 12-month or the fiscal year. But both of them will be looked at. That's the answer. Yes. Yeah, the amendment.
so the amendment.
Vote.
You can abstain if you're not clear. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, I'll come back around. Teresa Brereton. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Abstain, okay. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly.
Yes.
Natasha Duncan. Natasha Duncan? She gone? Okay, all right. Lena Fenderson? Lena Fenderson? Rose Graham? Gail Grandison? Michael Hill? Julia James?
No.
Osney Lewis?
Yes.
Trisha Lewison? Edith Mark? Daniel McCabe? Montserrat? Oni? That's a no. June Prasad?
No.
Janice Reed? Dr. Carol Renaud? Antoinette Smart? Tamara Swaby? Simone Sylvester? Tamara Thomas is abstaining, sorry. Kendrick Westcott? Sorry? That's a no, okay. And Ivor Wood?
Oh, Ms. Bellin, how do you vote? No, thank you. I think the noes have it. I'm just gonna move on. I would entertain a motion to close debate on this amendment. In the essence of time, can I get on this amendment? Okay, thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. You can't second your own. Somebody else has to second it. Thank you, Kamara. We're now voting on the original amendment. Madam Secretary.
To call the question, just for clarification, it says 10 in 12 months, you're absent for 4 times. However, while it's not stated here, the bylaws does have provisions that you can write to the board to ask for an excuse or be considered as why you should not be removed. Madam Chair, Madam Secretary?
Sorry, I missed that. I was counting.
Can you call the roll?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so she just explained what that was. That was going back to the original amendment. Okay. Kwame Afre. Berlard Antoine. Celia Boleyn. Sorry? Okay, thank you. Teresa Brereton. Did she? Oh, okay. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly. Natasha Duncan. Lena Fenderson. Rose Graham. Gail Grandison. Michael Hill. Julia James.
Yes.
Osney Lewis.
Yes.
Trisha Lewison. Edith Mark. Daniel McCabe. Montserrat Oni. That's a yes. June Prasad. Janice Reed. Dr. Carol Renaud. Antoinette Smart. Kamara Swaby. Simone Sylvester. Tamara Thomas says yes. Kendrick Westcott. And Ivor Wood. All right, the yeses have it.
Thank you. The last amendment is to officers and their duties. It reads, The officers of the community board shall consist of a chairperson, first vice chairperson, second vice chairperson, secretary, and treasurer. Each officer shall perform such duties as are incidental to their office as enumerated below and in accordance with generally accepted rules of parliamentary procedure. To be nominated, run, serve, or appointed as an officer of the community board, the board members domiciled, the permanent legal residence must be within the boundaries of Community Board 17. I open the floor now for questions.
Don't we have?
Chair Grandison?
Wait,
Granting opposition.
I rise
Wait,
in
wait,
favor.
wait, guys, slow down. Gail, you have, Chair Grandison, you have the floor first. Please state, I rise in opposition or I rise in support of for clarity or whatever.
So I'm telling on myself here because I'm part of the bylaw committees, but given the information that I verified, I rise in opposition. So there's a conflict here in regards to the community board application, which it gives the requirements that you can be on the board. And within these requirements, it speaks to that the board president considers a professional or other significant interest in the board's districts or employee of a city agency, member of a board of director of an organization, a property or business owner, or student attending school. So this is all in the application process. What is conflicting for me is in terms of to be nominated to run, serve, or appointed as an officer of the community board, are we self-imposing limitations then on board members? Because if they do not live in the community, but they belong to an organization or such as, then we're saying to them, you cannot run to be on the executive committee. And do we have such leverage as a board to implement, those kind of limitations? I don't know the answers to this. No, Mr. I'm sorry.
Yes.
There is not,
Wait,
there
wait,
is
wait, wait.
1 second, please. There is nothing in the city charter or in the bylaws that restricts us from imposing that restriction. So to answer your question, it's not whether right or whether we should or not. I'm simply saying there is nothing that stops us because the borough president has a broader framework from which members can be appointed. So you have a business in this district, you're a city employee, whatever the case may be, you can be on the board. That does not stop the board from imposing restrictions as to who can be an officer of the board.
I get that. So we're then going to do self-imposed limitations on our own members. So if this is the case, don't know how the vote is going to go, then it means that the upcoming elections and for future elections, we have to go through that list of whoever's incoming, and we have to weed out those who don't live in our district. I don't know if I can say that that's a fair process because, people are coming on the board based on that, the borough president sets these parameters and I have,
All right. Thank you, Ms.
Okay,
Grandison. Ms. Thomas, Secretary Thomas.
I have my hands up.
I said, sure. All right.
She
Go
did
ahead.
for me.
I'll yield to,
Gail,
Second
if I
Vice
could
Chair.
give some clarity, since I've been a board member for 18 years, the borough president appoints board members. However, it's the individual board members that create their own bylaws. Right, so we can create it whichever way we want by the board members. I also just wanted to answer, and I want to speak in support of this amendment. From personal experience, we have a lot of development going on in our district. I live on Farragut Road. I had like 4 and I have 2 more going on in my blocks. And I personally feel unless you actually live it, feel it, see it, that you understand what people in the district are feeling. And I felt it so bad, it's so frustrated. I'm dealing with garbage issue and all these things. And I feel if a person does not live in the district, they're not gonna fight for you as much as someone who lives in the district. That's just my personal opinion. I stand rest.
Thank you.
Ms. Thomas?
Chair Lewis.
Ms. Thomas, had the floor.
She yielded her time.
So I rise in opposition for the same fact that the community boards throughout New York City, anybody that lives in New York City could be a part of any board. Okay? So what my issue is that we limiting folks, people who have vested interests in many different organizations inside of the community, that they could see the activity, and they should not be limited by this board because we choose to block someone that does not live in CB 17.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait. 1 second.
Give me permission.
Wait,
to
hold on,
speak.
1 second,
I'm gonna
one second. You yielded your time.
No, she yielded preference,
No,
sir.
that's not how it works. Once she yielded her time, everybody else has to speak before she gets a chance to speak.
Okay, so I would like to be acknowledged after this.
Asher Cunningham, first vice chair. I rise in opposition to this simply because I think once the borough, and I hear your point, for second vice chair, but I do believe that because the stipulation by the borough president for members is clearly stated, I think we are setting ourselves up for failure if we vote in approval of this amendment to the bylaws. I think being on the board for a few years, what I've seen is a lot of time for a lot of these roles, we find it hard sometimes to even source candidates. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the next round, but I think we are setting ourselves up for even to be in a worse position to probably get people who will want to run. And what incentive is it for someone to be a part of a body to know that they are also unable to sit in these seats? And that's why I rise in opposition.
I also rise in opposition to the amendment. Last election 2 years ago, I ran for chair. I was the only one who ran for chair. We had one election out of 5 positions, one. And that was for first vice chair. And may her rest in peace, Pearlie Fields self-nominated and ran for chair. Because you don't live in the district doesn't mean that you don't have interest in your district. You have your small businesses that you have to worry about, your schools. Your children attend schools in these districts. You have property, you have tenants, right? You're like the many people who work at Downstate who are fighting to keep Downstate open. Many of them don't live in the district, but it's trying to fight a hospital that will remain open within this district. I taught thousands of students, changed many lives in our district. I lived for 40 years in this district, and I don't even know if I have anything in any other district. So I don't know that limiting the role of anyone, and again, you are overgoing what the city charter does. You're limiting what the city charter, it says domicilia, number one is you have to be a New York City resident. That's it. And then after that, your professional interests and the other things that Chair Grandison mentioned. So I don't see, and then we struggle every year to have people run. And to limit, I think it creates an issue. Sir, are you a board member? If you're not a board member,
No.
you cannot speak.
I
Secretary
rise to
Thomas.
be, sorry, go
Secretary
ahead.
Thomas.
Is he a board member?
Yes, that's Mr. Wood.
I understand, Ivor Wood, board member. I understand the opposition to the amendment, but I also want us to keep in mind, I support the amendment because you're more fierce and your heart is in it when it's your community.
Absolutely.
I understand that other people that live outside the community may have a business or whatever in the community, but then they get to leave and go home.
Thank you.
That's the difference.
Thank you so much.
So I also understand that because there's not enough board members from the community to be on the executive board, I don't think that has to do with outsiders. I think that's a problem from within.
Thank you.
So if you open it up to outsiders, you're still going to have the same problem. And how do you know they're fighting for the community and not for their own pocket?
Thank you very much. With that
Mr.
being
Chair,
said-
no, excuse me, I asked to be acknowledged, and
wait, I'm
as the
sorry.
chair as well. There are two more comments before you can close. Chair Thomas, go ahead, please.
Secretary Thomas, go ahead.
Mhm.
And then after that, we're going to close.
I
it.
know, I need to address the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ivor, Mr. Wood. You encapsulated a lot of what I wanted to say. So basically, the reasons that we have a retention problem is because, A, we don't do enough community outreach, which is a continual problem with the board. That has nothing to do with the city charter or the borough president's office. That has to do with us as a board not being organized enough and budgeting ourselves to do better community outreach. So that's the first thing. The second thing is what some people have already said, which is the fact that living in the community gives you a different level of fight than simply having properties and going back to wherever your community is, or having a business in the community and going back to wherever your community is. The fight just isn't the same. The level of passion just isn't the same, okay? I don't want a developer who lives in Manhattan because he has 5 buildings in my community making decisions for me who lives here. I don't find that acceptable, okay? Now, this board is open to people who have an interest in the community. And guess what? The committees are also open to people who are not even members of the board. And I think there's plenty of opportunity for people in the community who want to give back, and you don't even have to be a member. But I think to be an executive member of this board, I think you have to have real skin in this game, and that is living in the community.
Wait,
I need to, I
No,
would like to be,
Wait,
yeah.
I have a point of,
Mhm.
just a question for you, Madam Chair. The 5 executive officers of the board have clearly defined roles on the board, right? How does the amendment change the defined role?
It doesn't at all. It just says
And
that you have
also,
to be an
it doesn't
officer.
It doesn't preclude somebody from being a committee member. That's a different thing. Being a committee member, you
No,
don't have to live in the community. I
No,
just wanted
because
to.
the reason why,
It didn't specify you, Mr.
the
Chair.
reason why I'm asking that
just says,
question, the reason why I'm asking that
Mhm.
question is that I think it becomes a question about who is the chair of specific committees, not.
Mr. Chair, you're compounding the situation which doesn't exist at all. I would like to address the motion now. I have served on organizations in Harlem where I would leave 2 or 3 times a month, Brooklyn, drive up to Harlem to support organizations there. I have served on organizations in Bed-Stuy, right? Where I did it diligently and I enjoyed it. People enjoy social work. There is a major difference when you live in the community. And I'm saying that as the chair of the rezoning committee, I've had to fight with the executive, okay? Because I live here, I care about what's happening here. If I lived in Community Board 18 where no development can take place, I'm not feeling it and I don't care, okay? And from my experience having to fight with the executive to care about what's happening here. I think we need to have people, this is my opinion, everybody's going to vote on it, but we need to have people who live in the community, who feels what's happening, and not people who do not live in this community running this organization.
Thank you. All right, with that being said,
Close.
we have to close debate,
Okay,
ladies
go
and
ahead.
gentlemen.
Mhm.
Okay? Madam Secretary, please make the roll call.
Kwame Afre. Berlard Antoine. Celia Boleyn. Ms. Boleyn? Okay, I'll come back. Teresa Brereton. Ms. Sorry, yes? Asher Cunningham.
Abstain.
Roderick Daly. Lena Fenderson. Rose Graham. Gail Grandison. Michael Hill. Julia James.
Yes.
Osney Lewis.
No.
Tricia Lewison. Edith Mark. Daniel McCabe. Montserrat O'Neill? Oh, she left, okay. June Prasad.
Yes.
Janice Reed. Dr. Carol Renaud. Antoinette Smart. Tamara Swaby. Simone Sylvester. Tamara Thomas is yes. Kendrick Westcott. Ivor Wood.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience and time. It's all for the community. Thank you very much. The secretary will give the results.
Ms. Boleyn, what was your vote?
Thank you very much.
Okay, with that being said, we'll move on with the agenda. I didn't see any liquor license on this one, or there are two, right? Are the liquor license candidates here? One in the back?
Can you step forward, please, miss? Good evening, everyone. I know you guys are asleep now. Would you like to stand and sit? Just kidding. Why she step up? We have two applications. Is anyone representing HQ? Launch? Okay. So you're representing Swing Brooklyn? Rogers Garden. Hi, Ms. Garnett. How are you? Good. Okay, this is a renewal application. It's for Swing BK Inc., trade name The Rogers Garden, located at 708 Rogers Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. It's a full liquor license, bar and tavern. She has DJ, recorded music, live music, karaoke, etc. The police report as follows. There is no incident at this location in a 12-month period. I'll now open the floor for questions in the essence of time. Are there any questions for this applicant? You can face him. Seeing none, going once, going twice. Chair, Secretary Thomas, can we vote?
Yeah, before we move on to the vote, I just wanted to mention the last vote, and it's 12 yes, 7 no's, 5 abstention, motion carries. I'll begin the vote. Kwame Afre.
We're voting on the renewal of this liquor license application.
Berlard Antoine. Celia Berlin. Teresa Brereton. Asher Cunningham. Roderick Daly. Lena Fenderson. Rose Graham. Gail Grandison. Michael Hill. Julia James. Osney Lewis. Tricia Lewison. Edith Mark. Daniel McCabe. Okay, she's gone. June Prasad.
That's a yes for me.
Janice Reed. Dr. Carol Renault. Antoinette Smart. Tamara Swaby. Simone Sylvester. Tamara Thomas says yes. Henrik Westcott.
Henry Prescott? Oh,
Abstain.
abstain.
And Ivor Wood.
Okay, why she tallied the vote? If it's approved, but I think it is, a letter of recommendation will be sent to the State Liquor Authority on behalf of your establishment. Thank you for coming and have a seat.
Legislative report. Senator Zelma Martin Portia, are you still here? Yeah. Followed by Councilmember Lewis, followed by Councilmember Mealy, followed by Assemblymember Waterman. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Ms. Stevenson. She's actually first, but you could guide. And I wrote it here.
Anyways. Okay.
Good night, everyone. My name is Bianca Stevenson, and I represent Borough President Reynoso. Just a few little talking points here today. Borough President Reynoso, he released his 2024 Pre-K to 7 graduation award application earlier this month. There are 3 award categories that graduating students are eligible to be nominated for. Please do, if you're a school administrator at a Brooklyn-based public, private, or charter school, you can nominate up to 1 graduating student. Please do, administrators, visit our website, the Borough President's website, on the Contact Us section and nominate your student. The deadline is May 17th at 5 p.m. Also, in the vein of youth empowerment, the Borough President is establishing a youth advisory council with a mission to create civic engagement and participation through a youth-centered program. Our office is seeking a community-based organization with a background in implementing civics-based education programs to serve as a technical assistance provider for this new YAC. So eligible CBOs can visit the Initiative Centers section of our website to apply. Deadline is April 22nd, which is in a few days, 2024. And in terms of community boards, just want to say that within, fingers crossed, about a week, the results for the community boards will be released. And I know you all will be having several new board members. And a lot has happened here today, and I will be taking back, some information to the office so that, if we have to give clarification on anything that happened here today, that would happen as well. So if there's nothing else, thank you very much and have a beautiful night.
I have a quick question, ma'am.
I was afraid of that.
Over here. I know. Does the Borough President has any programs for block associations, block parties, like grants, money, funding?
For block parties, I'm going to have to check on that and I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. Okay. All right. So thank you very much.
evening, everyone. My name is Portia Edwards. I'm the District Director for State Senator Zellner Mary's office. It's a pleasure to be here at 9:30 at night. Again, just have a couple of quick announcements. So our new office hours changed up a little bit. We have evening hours every third Wednesday. Our office is open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you need to reach our office and you need an appointment in the evening hours, we're open every third Wednesday until 8 p.m. So please give our office a call to make an appointment to meet with us. We have CUF in our office every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., helping people fill out for Housing Connect. I can say that we have successfully housed or helped applicants get housed. We have about like maybe 8 of them within the year that we've been able to help with their application. So it's been pretty successful. Please come out if you need any help. That's Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Upcoming events. This Saturday, we are partnering with Caribbean for Earth Day. We'll be at the corner of Washington, at Washington Plaza, the corner of Washington and Empire. So please go to Caribbean's website you can see all of the things that we're going to be doing there this Saturday. It's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the next upcoming event we have is our job fair. We are partnering with the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce on May 8th. We are doing a job fair, sorry. My mind just went blank. We're doing a job fair Wednesday, May 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be at New Heights Youth, which is 1561 Bedford Avenue. It's a career fair, so if you know anyone who's looking, please come on out. Also, if you know any businesses that are hiring, we do still have space for businesses to register. On May 18th, we are doing our Immigration Resource Fair. And that's going to be from 11 to 5 p.m., I believe. So please reach out to our office for any questions or concerns that you may have with any of our upcoming events. The budget is still not passed, but we're working on that. Any questions?
Any questions?
No? Okay, thanks, bye.
All right, are there any questions? Okay, none. Councilmember Lewis, office. Followed by Councilmember Mealy's office. Followed by Assemblymember Chandler Waterman's office.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Heredia. I am here with my colleague on behalf of Councilmember Farah Lewis. I am actually going to let her introduce herself before I give remarks.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natasha Anderson. I'm the new Communications Director for Councilmember Farah Lewis, and I look forward to working with you on amplifying your voice and your visibility in this community. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Natasha, for introducing yourself. So I'm going to, I'll try to be brief as possible. I'm first going to discuss some major cases that we've received in the past couple of weeks before going into our upcoming community updates. So firstly, we know that there's been a lot of concerns raised to our office in the past month since the last meeting, particularly pertaining to quality of life issues within Community Board 17 and our other community boards. Namely, we are working diligently on cases such as abandoned vehicles and trailers. We appreciate the partnership with the 67th precinct on this issue. As of right now, as of a visit and this morning, we know there's still one remaining trailer, one remaining RV that is located on Avenue D, which is where the prevalence of this has been most critical. We are still working on getting that person permanent housing through our affordable housing program, which we have and partner with our CBOs to get this for folks in the community. That is still in progress. We have recently received a number of concerns related to some of the shelters in the district as well. We know that there's some quality of life concerns, particularly on Utica Avenue, Now, many of the concerns transcend the location of Community Board 17, but Councilmember Lewis is aware of the issue, and we're currently in the process of coordinating a multi-agency response to make sure that we're both dealing with the sanitation issues on Utica Avenue, as well as services and as well as behavioral issues around there as well. We've also been, as folks know from months ago, Flatbush Gardens issues as well. As an update and just a reminder, they have an Article 11 tax exemption from the city of New York to improve the conditions on the property, but we have to make sure that they are caring about the certain conditions around the property as well. We know that many folks have concerns about what goes on and around and how it affects the homeowners who live around the property. And we encourage you all to continue reaching out to us because we are partnering with HPD, Housing Preservation Development, to make sure that we are holding all folks, property management and landlords accountable to make sure that they are caring for the community that they are in. And we encourage you all to continue forwarding these issues to our office. Now, I will mention the Shirley Chisholm Rec Wheel Center issue here now. We are staff of the district office, right? We all are the eyes and ears for Council District 45, and you see me, you see my colleagues at all of the community board and precinct council meetings. We are infinitely grateful for the partnership of Community Board 17 and all of our community boards for raising the critical issues that happen with projects in our community. Based on the overwhelming amount of outrage and concern that our local community members aren't involved in the flagship project such as the Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center is important, which is why Councilmember Lewis immediately convened multiple agencies, including the mayor's office, to get accountability to this. I want to publicly thank Ms. James, Mr. Alfray, and Mr. Lewis for bringing this to our attention. And even though we have a resolution, and even though we've made strides in ensuring that our local vendors have access to contracts in our community, we are going to make sure that that continues until when the center is built. So just on that note, there are many community events coming up. I appreciate that folks have taken all of the flyers from our table. And we also are happy to forward all the communication, including our upcoming bike ride against sexual assault, our tree giveaway this Saturday, and our other community events in Community Board 17. So on that note, on behalf of Councilmember Farah Lewis, thank you all for sticking out this late and have a beautiful evening. Yes.
Am I recognized? Sorry. I was remiss earlier. I thanked the city council member, Farah Lewis, but I didn't thank Daniel. I want to publicly state Daniel has been very, very active. And so Daniel, thank you for all that you've done.
Secretary
I appreciate the comment. I take no thanks as I do this on behalf of Councilmember Lewis.
So my question that I posed to Councilmember Lewis a few months ago, and I'm now posing to you on her behalf, is in terms of the status of WMBE, because it spoke earlier and they made it clear, although very quickly, that you have to be an MBE certified in order to participate. And so I wanted to know where your office was in terms of expediting that process, because I believe bidding is closing in June, right? So it's a lengthy process, and I just wonder where your office is in moving that process forward, because that's an important part.
Right, and thank you so much, Madam Secretary, for bringing that issue. So we actually convened an in-office meeting with Councilmember Lewis, the Mayor's Office, DDC, McKissick, and Lend-Lease just last week, prior to this meeting, to discuss some of these issues. Actually, I'll thank Mr. Lewis for bringing up the particular issue of how difficult it is to become MWB. For the record, MWB certification for city contracts is managed. There's a database by New York City Small Business Services. That's where the city comes in. In terms of the legislation around it, that comes from the state. The state gives us the power to recognize and certify businesses. Now, in terms of the Shirley Chisholm Recreation Center, it's important for us to actually aggregate, and our office is aggregating all of the requests for participation from community members to make sure that they go directly to DDC, streamline the lengthy 2 to 3 month wait it takes to usually get that paperwork in, which includes submitting tax returns, it includes submitting prior projects. We are streamlining that so it goes straight to DDC. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Millie's office, Ms. Williams. Mr. Robinson, you're next. And I think I see online Karen from Senator Prasad.
Good evening. My name is Ayanna Williams. I'm the Chief of Staff for Councilmember Darlene Mealy, 41st District. I'm going to keep this very brief. I know we're all tired.
Closer to the mic, please.
Just a few normal announcements of what goes on in the office, and some upcoming events. On Tuesdays, we have a housing specialist that comes in the office every Tuesday. We have a pantry every first and third Wednesday. Every second and fourth Wednesday, we have a Housing Connect person to come in to help people. We have free immigration services on Thursday. For Housing Connect and immigration, you need appointments, you can call the office 718-953-3097. This Saturday, the Saturday, April 27th at PS 40, which is at 265 Ralph Avenue from 11 to 12:30, we'll have our Community Advisory Board. We will do a Narcan presentation where everyone will be trained and receive 2 Narcan kits. We'll also have a City of Yes presentation done. And we're gonna have a guest speaker, Judge Keisha Allen. This weekend, we're having a park cleanup at Brevoort Park. That's it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Williams. Mr. Robinson.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Just real quickly. Just this past Saturday, good evening again to everybody. Just this past Saturday, the member had her State of the District address. She thanked everybody from the board who had come out to support her. We had discussed many of the accomplishments in the district and some shared goals going forward. This coming Friday, if there's any clergy in the meeting here, she's inviting you to her clergy breakfast on Friday, April 19th from 10 to 2 at 909 Utica Avenue, just next door to her office. Other update on the statewide. Everybody know, well, most people is aware of the situation at downstate. And she has pledged along with her colleagues to ensure that they're having this long debate, not debate really, but making proposal of significant strides to ensure that at least downstate, this very same institution stays afloat. They have already, they said, committed over $500 million to downstate, but they need much more to ensure that this great edifice stays in support of the community. Our shredding events, we have those coming up. The mayor's cut in these areas sometimes prevent us from announcing the dates, but pretty soon we'll have that date, those dates coming up. Our housing Thursday continue to be at our office from 11 to 2. So if there's anybody with a housing issue that needed some expert advice on, you can certainly come to our office on a Thursday, 11 to 2 and see the housing expert. Our next Vital Voice meeting, I say to you, the member meet every month with members of the community. And this Vital Voice meeting is coming up on May 18, 12 p.m. at the Tilden campus, where we'll be dealing with public safety conversation. The guest speaker at that event will be the first Deputy Commissioner, Tayana Kinsella, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Along with the Brooklyn DA's office, we have this Range Workforce Development Program on May 29th, June 5th, June 30th from 1 to 4 at each Flatwood Village. And we kick off our Gun Violence Awareness Month on June 1st. and also in Albany on June 3rd. More information that is forthcoming. My name is Dalton Robbins, sir, office at 903 Utica Avenue, between Church and Snyder. If there's any issue, any of our constituents have that you think we can assist you with, please do not hesitate to call 718-385-3336. Thank you very much.
Karen? Karen online? She's still there?
Trying to hi, good night, everybody. I'm from Senator Prasad office. My name is Karen Davis. I'm a constituent liaison. I just want to point out some events that we're having. Like we having this Friday, we're having a free electronic recycling collection. We're also having a mobile office on Wednesday, April 24th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., which will be at Brookdale Hospital in the auditorium. It's gonna be the purpose of this is to make sure that constituents who cannot make it to the office would get an opportunity to discuss their issues with either the senator or with her staff. And we have a considerable amount of agencies that's going to be there with us, different vendors. We are also having a shredding event on May 15th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This will be at the office also. Every month the senator has Saturday office hours starting at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We just want to get you all updated on these events, these community events, and hope that you all could come out. Also, we also have a Mother's Day event coming up on May 4th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's a Saturday at the office. The senator would like to know, like everybody to know that she's working hard on the budget, and stay tuned. Hopefully, it passed soon. Thank you.
Ms. O'Neill, Rachel O'Neill, representing Congresswoman Yvette Clarke.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well.
How's everyone doing tonight? So really quickly, two things. One, for anyone that's having events for immigration or constituent services, we would love to partner with you guys and table at your events from the federal side. So my information is in the chat, but if I need to provide it verbally, I can do so as well. Let me just go ahead and do that. The number here at our office is 718-287-1142. And my email is Rachelle, RACHELLE .O'Neill, O''Neil @mail.house.gov. And I'm the Director of Constituent Services. So we would love to do that with you all. Secondly, we're having upcoming, hold on, let me get the information. Bear with me for a second. We're having our congressional art competition. So Orlando Ross in our office is over that, and it's for high school, middle and high school students who are artistic. And the time to submit those will be by May 1st. And the winner will be announced May 8th. So again, you can get in contact with Orlando Ross in our office. Is Orlando, ORLANDO .Ross, ROSS @mail.house.gov. I also put that information in the chat as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, are there any other representatives? Any other representatives? Special report board members?
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me, Chair?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, this is Sydney Renwick from Assemblymember Cunningham's office. I would just like to give brief remarks, if that's okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Redmond.
Thank you. Assemblymember Cunningham's office has Housing Mondays every Monday.
We can't hear you clearly. We cannot hear
Is this
you
better?
clearly.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Great, thanks. So Assemblymember Cunningham partners with Brooklyn Housing between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. every Monday for Housing Mondays. If you have any issues with housing or completing forms, please do call the office at 718-771-3105 to sign up for an appointment. Assemblymember Cunningham's office will also be having a Jazz Appreciation Month event taking place Friday, April 19th at 12 p.m. at Brower Park. Please come bring your lawn chairs for a fun time of jazz accompaniments. We're partnering with China, Assembly-member, the City Council member, Chi Osei's office, and the Friends of Brower Park. We will also be hosting our annual Women of Distinction event taking place Thursday, May 9th from 6:30 to 8 at the Brooklyn Children's Museum located at 145 Brooklyn Avenue. If you would like to register, please do sign up through our Eventbrite link. As always, we are having our monthly town halls. The next town hall will be on Sunday, May 19th at 3 p.m. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you. Any other representative? Okay.
Hey, Chair Daly, it's Jeffrey Zavere from the Public Advocate's Office.
Go ahead.
Hey, how are you doing this evening? One, I want to just thank you all for being there. Sorry I couldn't be there last minute, and sorry for being off camera. And I'll just be really brief and just mention that one thing that was really notable that happened in the last month was that one of the landlords, one of the number one landlord on our worst landlord watch list for 2 years in a row was finally given some accountability by the city and was arrested. And I just want to especially highlight this from our office because a lot of times we do work that seems very, very slow, but eventually it does have real consequences behind it. And I know that it's something that to always continuously highlight to folks who are not taking care of folks who they're supposed to be taking care of. And another piece that I wanted to really highlight was that the public advocate in proposing that the FDNY and the city provide folks who are using e-bikes to provide them with fireproof battery storage bags to prevent fires that we've seen all across the city and including in this district. And yeah, just continues to progress to make sure that the East Flatbush community is one of the best in the city. And I won't take anyone else's time. So just have a good and safe night, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Special report, board members.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
On point of order, I'm timing myself on my phone. And secondly, kindly note that under New York State pay transparency laws, city employee salaries are not confidential. So this matter was a public matter, so I can address it publicly. On the January and February agendas, a resolution was presented to give the district manager a 10% raise. On the basis that a raise had not been given in 11 years, notwithstanding a raise was granted in 2022, that placed the district manager's salary in the higher range of the 59 community boards. What was not stated was that since the city council did not grant an increase in the community board's budget, the only way the raise of 10% could be granted was by taking the funds from another salary line, in this case, the vacant position of a recent retired employee. A special meeting was held where the board voted on a 10% raise. However, the vote was based on misinformation presented that were we to attempt to fill the position of a community associate who would have been responsible to be active in the community, that there were insufficient funds because the salary range was too high. That was misinformation. By eliminating the full-time position to grant a 10% raise, the board is doing a disservice to the community. We are down to only 2 employees who function on a full-time basis. The current staff primarily engage in office administration. We need an employee, a community associate, whose responsibility is to be out in the community addressing our residents' needs. Had the board considered a raise of 7%, we could have saved a job. It is unconscionable that with unemployment as high as 12% in East Flatbush, that the board would eliminate a job where a woman in a shelter could have found a job. A recent college graduate could have found employment. Board decisions should be based on rational considerations and not emotional appeal. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other special report, board members? Okay, seeing none, is there any unfinished business? Any new business? Motion to adjourn. All right. It can't be everybody. Dr. Renaud, makes a motion to adjourn. Can I get a second? Ashley Cunningham, second. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye. All opposed?
It's nice to
Any abstention?
No, it's okay. We all at that point. So Ms. Almy said her brothers, she's gonna have her brothers come in the morning to help you. And I guess she probably might be there also. So when I come back from taking my that lady, I will come by and spend the rest of the day with you. So I should be back there by 10:30.
Great help, and you're like a lifesaver. When we were in a do or die position on the thing.
I know.
Superman.
Yeah, I forgot my daughter was going out of town. Well, I knew she was going out of town, but I thought she was leaving the Saturday after some. She was, no, you know, it's like 2 months ago. Something else. But, said Ms. Omni, she's gonna have her brother soon. Because they're not coming. Okay, all right. Have a good night. You too, dear. Yeah. But
I mean, I don't know, where is Please. No, I can't talk to him. I'm totally lost. I don't know where these go. Where does he go? Here?
Hi. Oh, good. How's it going so far? I'm so excited. Okay. Give a cut. Yes. I've got so many things to do, and I'm a doer. You know, I don't like to sit down. So I'm excited for my new position. Hopefully that I make you guys proud. So, yeah, I don't want you to.
All right, have a good
Branch.
Lucky.
Lucky boy? Look it up. Cute, I like it. Lucky boy.
June?